I'm going to tell you the distortion, collapsing low end, limiters choking on your mix bus or in your master can be fixed from one tiny 3-second moment. I've mastered over 7,000 records and I've spent the last 2 years showing engineers in my masterclasses how to identify this moment and how to address it. Here's the crazy part. Most engineers set their limiters, they set their clippers, saturation, and it feels good. They get it 90% of the way there. And then they bounce everything and they go back to listen to it while everything's sounding great. And then there's this particular moment. It's a loud moment in the track. It hits and everything falls apart. Now, for years, there's been one tool I've been using and recommending to people to help find this loudest moment in a track. And not everybody has access to it, so I've built a version for the community and I'm releasing it for free in this video. This is a technique I use in every session, so I'm going to pull up this session by Willowbank and walk you through it.
Why can't I escape my pain? I need you when I'm falling down. If we went our separate ways, I know I'm lost with
Sounds good. It's pretty damn loud and crushed at the moment, and that's sort of on purpose because in this section it's almost acceptable. I wouldn't say it's great because I've overdriven it on purpose, but it's almost acceptable. It's when we get to this section here it falls apart. Everything is going crazy and everything is crunching up. Now, typically in Isotope, I will find the loudest short-term LUFS and mark that out in the session. That's the tool I've been using, but a lot of people have asked if there's an alternative. So I built this tool. It's called the LUFS Analyzer. We'll open it up. It comes as a little applet up here. And what you can do is, if you get in the Finder, you can take this bad boy. One moment. You can take this bad boy, drop it in over here, and it's going to analyze it for us. And when it analyzes it, it's going to give us our short-term maximum LUFS in a 3-second window. So this mix hits negative 10.8 LUFS. It gives us a time code and it gives us the in and out point of those 3 seconds. So that's 243 to 246. Now that's really important information because those 3 seconds, it is basically the loudest signal. It has got the most amount of amplitude and average over a 3-second period. So any of your saturators, any of your limiters, any of your clippers, like soft clippers, not hard clippers, because hard clippers use peak values, but basically any of your dynamic processors that introduce harmonics or saturation or artifacts are going to be driven most here. So now I've got those time markers, it sits as a little applet here, so I can always reference it here. I can drop other tracks or other mixes into here. But what's beautiful here is because I've got this information easily accessible, I chose to make it a Mac applet, not a window, so you can always bring it up. You zoom in here, and you go 243, 243, and then 246. And then what you can do is you can cut that, or you can function enter and add a marker, max LUFS. So now in your session, when you're dialing things in and you want to really refine the loudest section of the track that's going to make everything go bonkers, you drop your mix in here, you get the time code, you go down here and you chop and mark it out very quickly and efficiently, and you don't have to go find and open a new window because it's always up in the app there. Now, I want to give you some practical delta and ABs here because I've set up a few things here for a bit of a case study, like what this looks like in sessions. So here I've set up 2 clippers. I'm going to turn off the limiters. I've set up 2 clippers on 2 versions of the master. Now, clipper on the left, what's this? That's a 3 dB curve. So we're hard clipping down -6 and then doing a 3 decibel transition of soft clipping to the peak. That's in the first one. So it's a little bit more gentle, so to speak, on the body of information, on the average information that's coming in. On the second one, I've got -3 decibel hard clipping, but 6 decibel of a transition curve on the Soft Clip Pro into the ceiling. So it's taking more of the average amplitude values below the ceiling and soft clipping it, or basically saturating or wave shaping it, depending how you want to use your terminology here. Now, what I've done here is I've created a inverted signal here, so we can actually hear the difference of these two curves at the loudest section. So we'll be able to hear the delta. What you'll notice is with the hard clipping and less soft transition, so there's a 3 decibel transition here, you're going to get more of the transients being affected and not as much of the body being saturated. And on this 6 decibel curve, you're going to hear a lot of the saturation in the body. And this is really typical of very loud sustained passages. So let's just have a listen. In a mastering session, I'm not setting up A/B tests like this with a delta signal, but I just wanted to do this demonstratively to show you how a loud sustained signal changes the way a processor or a non-linear processor that introduces harmonics interacts with the material. This is pretty common knowledge, but I think in context of this conversation, it's good to identify the exact information that you're working with when you're mastering, and then just creating a case study for you guys to present you this information with. In addition to the clipping, now we don't need to delta this, we have the limiter itself. Now, let's head over to this limiter here. I think this is set up correctly. Now, what we're going to look at is the amount of limiting happening in the previous chorus. And roughly we get about a maximum of 2 decibels of limiting. Let's have a listen.
Need you when I'm falling down. If we went our separate ways, I know I'm lost without you. Why can't I escape this shame? There's darkness where.
So a moderate amount of limiting, there's quite a bit of gain on this limiter. And what actually happens is, and this is where this check comes in handy, especially for dialing in your limiters, is to get the loudest section and loop it here, because this will set a limiter off like crazy. Even though these are peak reactive, the sustain of that gain reduction is dependent on the amount of amplitude feeding that peak, and you can get a little bit more, quite a bit more actually, compression happening here, or limiting action happening here. So that hit 4.5, 4.7 dB of a limiting over that louder section, whereas in the previous chorus it was around 2, maybe max 2.5 dB of gain reduction. Now, had you set your limiter, heard the chorus, monitored it all the way through, but maybe not been looking at this meter, you wouldn't realize how much pumping is going on in that louder section. And that's why I like to have this 3-second marked to just go over and refine my clipper settings, my limiter settings, any compression settings, any saturation settings, because these 3 seconds are really going to make an impact on how this unit interacts with everything. If you want to make louder, cleaner, more intentional masters, grab this tool. It's for free, but I'm only releasing it to my newsletter subscribers tomorrow, and that's the place it's going to live, because it's just not some throwaway utility. It's a step towards a purposeful way of engineering. A way where your loudness decisions come from precision, not guesswork, from clarity, not chaos. And the people who choose to work with this, the engineers who care about precision, depth, and craft, they're the ones we call Loudcrafters. You know, people who are concerned about making great sounding records in the process. So if you want the tool and want to step into using something like this in your sessions, join the newsletter. I'm going to send it out to the subscribers tomorrow. Download it, run your mix through it, and once you do, welcome to the Loudcrafters. Welcome to making great sounding records with intention. Until next time, take care.